All right, so I gotta ask this one. I played college football.
Oh boy, I know where this is going.
Yeah, I
right.
played, and I'm minding my business, and one of my friends said, "Hey man, did you see this?" Not one, not two, but 3 million views of what appeared to me. It had the individuals had a Livingstone College jersey on, a helmet inside of a building, like one of the residence halls, with no shoes on. And it wasn't like, oh, let's just touch and agree. They went full force and bam. Okay.
What do you expect? We're the campus where HBCU football started. No, I would really love to. I can't downplay it. I mean, but there's a delicate balance there. You know, young men playing an aggressive sport like football, that happens in practice. What happened for us is that it happened in a residence hall and someone filmed it. Social media is just so dangerous because it shows up when you don't need it to show up.
True.
But here's the piece of that I want to go on record saying. I support my student athletes. Here were 2 young men who are honor students, African American men who are in college, who are honor students, who decided, hey, you know what? Let's get it in, and they did in our residence hall. Am I happy about that? Because they could have been hurt, but they weren't hurt. And I said that we're fortunate that no one was injured because of the horseplay. But at the end of the day, I have to support them because they're still ambassadors of Livingstone College. So how do we deal with it? We deal with it by making this a teaching moment. Mm-hmm. You don't do that in a residence hall. You do that when it's supervised in the right environment. But most people on social media who looked at that thought it was funny. We had shout outs from professional athletes. Listen, the one thing that I wish, man, Ken, can you imagine? You played football at Livingstone. Can you imagine if every person who saw that view gave $1, $3, or $5?
Wow.
I could build a brand new field house, cash, all the furniture, and we could have a state-of-the-art facility on this campus to support my student athletes. So if you really want to support them, when I talk about this investment, here's an investment to say, hey, I like this video, shout out to these young men. And then guess what? But I'm going to stand with my students. Think about this, Ken. There are things that you and I both did in our 20s.
Don't do that.
That we ought to be glad that social media wasn't around back then.
Wow.
Some of us have had lapses in judgment in our 30s and 40s. So I'm not going to come down on these young men because they had a lapse of judgment. They decided to use the vehicle of football to do something that I would not have done. But I still got to support them because they're ambassadors of Livingstone College.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad that we got that one out because what's going to happen is when you leave and I leave, people are going to say, well, why didn't you ask the football question? And then if we ask it and you don't address it and you did address it, then the question becomes out, well, he didn't address it. But you addressed it, a lapse in judgment, and as a lapse in judgment, they are ambassadors. And it's amazing that the spin and the approaches you've taken, because I know that could have went a lot of different ways.
And that could have went left. And you know what? It did go left. But when you have 3 million views, if you get 10,000 comments that are negative, in the grand scheme of things, the voice is not as amplified.
Mm-hmm. Well, thank you for answering that one, because I had to put that one out.
I know you did. I thought we were going to get away from this interview without answering
I had to put that one out there. Well, no, that was good. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ken.
All right. Yes, sir.